What's good, TSA? How everybody doing out there? Hope everybody can hear me well. Man, I'm excited. It is NBA opening night. Good game so far. Watching a little bit of the baseball game. You got one job, man, and that's like not to give up a home run at Cody Bellinger. There's a whole lot of things that you can do on that play. That's like the only thing you can't do. And what do? Give up the home run to Cody Bellinger. I don't give some of these pitchers. It's like they give in and like, oh, let me just throw the ball right over the middle of the plate. That was sort of depressing because they were 4 outs away from pretty much ending the Dodgers. The Dodgers would have been done and finished. That would have been like it. But instead, we got a ball game. NBA game is going pretty much as expected, but good. We're starting the show right on time. So let me get Mac in here so we can get going. Let's see here. You still got to send a request, Mac. I can see you, but I can't add you just yet. So I give it about 5 more seconds and then go ahead on and get you added. Maybe it's a delay or something. It seems to take a couple seconds to get you in and going. Let's see. We try this again. Yeah. I see you. I just can't get you in. I know you watching this game, no? I don't know what these boys are doing right now. They messing stuff up because I hate the damn Dodgers. Almost as much as I hate the Lakers. Well, definitely not as much as I hate the Lakers, but y'all get my point. It's getting close. Let's see here. 1 out. Man, need a double play right here, real bad. What is this dude gonna do? What's going on, Trapper? All right, let's see. For some reason, I can't add you, Mac, so I keep going. I'll keep checking that periodically. So we got the game tonight. First night of gambling up. Got a little action on tonight's game. I'm new to this gambling stuff, but NBA, I couldn't pass up George Hill, and it was George Hill and 1 rebound, and I need 4 assists from KD, 24 and 8 from Harden. Get those numbers. Seems easy enough. All right, Mac, we should be coming on here very shortly. There we go. Hey, Mac, that goddamn hair, boy, I tell you what.
Hey, man, like, you already said it, dog. Like, I turned this game on, and so I was down getting a couple of drinks or whatever, and, I was like, I'm down out here in Maryland, told my partners, I was like, hey, man, I got to get back, man. Me and my boy, we got to do this thing, and I was like, we was up 5-2, came back, and obviously 2 hits, and I was like, man, do not pitch to Bellinger, man. Like, that dude, he kills us. Him and Cody Seager, man, they do us in, and then, like you said, you throw one. You had, I think it was 1 and 2, or maybe even 2 and 2. I don't even remember. 1 and 2
strikes.
You throw a ball waist high, hell, chest high to that dude. Come on, man. And then you leave it. Brian Sickner, man. He is the reason the Braves will not win this series and/or the World Series. I blame him for tricking away a 3-1 lead last year, and we finna mess around and trick away a 2-0 lead this year with 5 outs to go.
I still think y'all got this series. You get out of this inning, y'all will win this game. I still believe. I think the Dodgers pitching is a little bit too thin. You already dealt with Scherzer and Arias, so y'all still got the advantage right there. But that was big. That was big.
Yeah, nah, man. Hey, it's like you said, man. If we would have went ahead and knocked them out tonight, man, it was over for them, man. Those guys were gonna be demoralized. The fans was out the game. It was over for them, man. And Freeman's starting to hit the ball now, so that's good. Because obviously, first 2 games, 0 for 8, 7 strikeouts, and he's starting to hit the ball now. So it was looking good for us, man. But we obviously couldn't, we just couldn't put them away right there. And hopefully, like I said, hopefully we can get out of this inning. Not like that, but hopefully we can get out of this inning without them scoring, and then we can obviously try to manufacture some runs here in the top of the 9th and put them away, man. But it is what it is, man. I was hoping when by the time we were doing this, it was going to be over. We was going to be up 3-0, and we was going to be preparing on playing the old bum-ass Red Sox.
Right.
What, 2-1 right now, I think? And those guys been hitting the ball well, man. So I think, Houston might be done in that game, man. Hey, just making sure, can you hear me all right? Because I obviously don't have my setup like I normally would at the house, man. I'm out here. I ain't bring my headphones. I ain't bring my damn stand or nothing, man. So
I got you. I got you loud and clear.
All right.
So let's go ahead on and jump into it. I know there's gonna be an NBA heavy show with the start of NBA. That's why I got my jersey on today. Got the timer set right here.
Okay.
I'm gonna have a bail for us next week because it's a certain bail that I'm looking for. I might just have to settle for what I've been finding, but we'll get going. So the first question is from you to me.
All right. So obviously, man, I sent you these earlier, man. So night, obviously, we got the Bucks and Nets are playing right now. So opening night, man, what are you most excited to see tonight?
Tonight, just honestly, the fans in the stands. That's one of the big things because we didn't get that last year until the end of the year, and just seeing that energy in the crowd and seeing that the NBA is back and we back to a normal 82 game schedule. So that is all very exciting to me. Now, as far as the games in themselves, is watching Milwaukee, on ring night. A lot of times teams lose on ring night because of the emotion, but they come out, they look good. They actually look a little bit deeper than last year too. So when a team wins a championship, either one or two things are going to happen. Either A, they can win, and then that next year, things don't quite go the same. The chemistry isn't the same. You lose a couple of key guys, and that hunger isn't there. Or they win, and now you got that, as Rudy Tomjanovich said, the heart of a champion. Yep. Now you know what it takes to win. And now your chemistry is even better. And they've learned how to win. And you may have created a monster in Giannis.
Yep.
Because the kid believes in himself, and now he knows he's won one. So now he's hungry. Let me win 2. Let me win 3. Let me keep going. Yeah, Blake, you can go ahead on and send me that money now because we made that bet. You said that Giannis was going to demand a trade. I think it was next year. But, okay, we'll wait till that happens. But that's what I'm looking for them. For New Jersey, I'm looking at, okay, how do we look without Kyrie? He said, I got some money riding on this game tonight. And when I look at the numbers, I just need Joe Harris to score 12 points, and this guy only has 6. To me, Joe Harris, with Kyrie being out, and we're not even going to talk about Kyrie. We've done that enough. But just looking at the basketball aspect of it, Joe Harris is a guy that they really need to step up to that 15, 16-point range game. Nothing crazy, and just be a knockdown shooter. The second game, the Lakers and the Warriors, it's sort of becoming like Boston and the Yankees, where I feel like I see them 35 times, and even like their preseason games are on. In a way, I'm sort of sick of seeing it, but I watch. I can't help it. It's the NBA, and it's the opening night. The Lakers, really nothing there. I pretty much know how they're going to look. And as far as the Warriors, just seeing some of the young kids, if they can step up and sort of fill the void. So that's my thoughts on tonight.
Okay. Like I say, I agree with you, man. I think we probably got a couple of seconds left, but I agree with you, man. I think I was watching a little bit of the New Jersey or Brooklyn Bucks game, man, and Giannis was looking good out there, man. He wasn't trying to do that. He was bringing the ball up the floor a little bit, but he was also, as soon as he got down there, he was giving it up. He was putting himself down in the paint, trying to get set down there, and we talked about it. I still just don't think New Jersey, I keep calling New Jersey as well. I still just don't think the Nets side when it comes time. If they start playing bigs, they're just going to get beat up inside, man, because Aldridge, again, we just don't know what we're going to get out of him. We obviously, Griffin ain't, he ain't where he needs to be, what I'm saying? Then all they're going to do is bring Brook Lopez in there, and he's going to try to pull him out the paint because he's hitting them 2 or 3 threes every game, and you got to somewhat respect it. And then it's just going to open it up for Giannis to go down there and go to work. And we've already talked about it. When he's focused and he's on, you're not really stopping him. So like I say, that, and then like you said with the next game, I'm just I'm ready to see what Golden State is going to do now with everything that's kind of going on. You know, I
Right.
can't, it's night, or is, you know what I'm saying? Has he been cleared to play? I haven't really been watching any of them in the preseason, so I can't remember if Clay is back, but you know, obviously Chef's gonna be
Clay won't be back until maybe Christmas.
okay. So like I say, I'm just trying to see what some of those young guys are gonna do, and you know how are they gonna play going forward. So I kind of expect a low scoring game with a lot of turnovers in that game. So that's what I'm looking at tonight. So
Okay, here's one for you. The Ben Simmons saga sort of reached a head today. So when you look at that whole situation with Ben Simmons, right? There's a lot of blame to go around. So I pretty have it in three groups. I have the Doc and Embiid, I have Daryl Morey, and of course Ben Simmons himself. So if you were to make a pie chart and you were to assign blame equaling 100%, how would you lay that blame out?
now are we going from the end of the playoffs to now, or
We're going from the end of the playoffs to now, to where we are today. How do you assign that blame for where we are today?
Okay, so I would tell you this and I'll kind of lay this out a little bit. I'll go from the end of the playoffs. In my opinion, it was 50-50. You know what I'm saying? Because Ben was doing, you know, his thing, kind of being nonchalant, and then kind of Doc and Joel were kind of, you know, not blaming the guy, but they were blaming the guy for, you know, kind of losing. So at the end of the season, I'll go 50-50. Now that we're kind of, you know, once we got in the off season and everything, I'm starting to shift my blame away from Doc and Joel back more towards Morey, because obviously you knew that he wasn't wanting to play in Philadelphia anymore. Your coach and your other star players already called him out. You should have been trying to deal him, which, you know, you were, but you're up here asking for a king's ransom for a guy that won't shoot and can't shoot free throws. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm switching some of that blame. I'm going to probably go 75% on Daryl Morey for asking too much for a guy that, you know, you just want too much, man. Like, you're not going to get that. And then now that we're back into it, I'm gonna shift a little bit more blame back towards Ben for coming out there showing his ass. And, you know, you knew what you was doing, man. So now you want to come out there and try to be cute and, you know, look, I'm here. I got my shot. I'm here. Let's go. No, bro, it doesn't work like that, man. Like, where have you been this whole time? And to be honest with you, I'll put more blame on. So Ben's got all that, but then I'm gonna put it on Doc and Morey for even allowing that to happen. He shouldn't even have been allowed in the facility. You know what I'm saying? Now, granted, you done booted him out now, conduct detrimental to the team, but you shouldn't even allow him in there to even bring that. So now all we're doing is we're just putting all of this stuff back out into the public, making it even more of a messy situation, when the reality is, once you knew in the offseason at the draft when y'all were trying to trade him, you shouldn't even you should have traded him draft night, and then when you couldn't work out a deal, then you should have still been trying to work a trade and just not let him back into the facility, because you know he doesn't want to be there, and you know too that him and Joel, they just can't get along, man. So you were just asking for trouble. So like I say, from at the end of the season, 50-50, and now, in my opinion, more of it shifted towards Morey during the offseason, and now it's just a collective effort, probably 60-40, you know what I'm saying, Sixers and Ben Simmons. You know what I'm saying? So, but
I would probably give all those guys 33% if I could.
Okay.
You know what? Initially, I'm going to give more of the blame to Ben. Real quick before we move on, there's a coach out here that I coach with, David Grace. David Grace used to coach. He was assistant coach at UCLA. He was the guy that recruited the balls. He was assistant coach at Vanderbilt under Stackhouse. So me and him, we talk a lot of basketball. You know, and I asked him about a lot of the players that's, you know, currently in the NBA, because this guy knows everybody and that's coached everybody. He's the type of guy that goes to UCLA and goes to the pickup games when Bron and Westbrook and those guys are in there. So he asked me, he said, "What do you think about Ben Simmons?" I said, "Ben Simmons strikes me as a very emotional person, a very sensitive kid, a kid that the game comes easy to him, but he doesn't love the game, loves what the game brings him, loves the cars, loves the girls. Talented at it, has never been challenged, has never been held accountable." And he said, "You hit the nail on the head." That's where it all starts for me. All starts with Ben Simmons. Doc and Joel, did they throw him under the bus in a way? Yes, they did. But usually once that happens, once it becomes public, it's happened behind closed doors as well. And with Daryl Morey just got too cute and he's completely screwed it up. Just all around bad situation. And now Morey, who I've never been a fan of, think he's extremely overrated. He needs to fix it and fix it as soon as possible.
Well, hell, hey, I think now he's just gonna have to give him away for whatever somebody's gonna offer him now, and it ain't gonna be a lot because obviously, everybody knows he doesn't want to be there, and you're not gonna just, you know what I'm saying, it's just a bad situation for him now. He should have traded the guy on draft night, and he shouldn't have asked for so much because it's not like you're trading Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid, you could have asked for that package from the Warriors that you wanted of Wiggins, 5 first-round picks, and James Wiseman. Okay, I could understand that. But you're talking about Ben Simmons, a guy that's 16 and 7 maybe in his best year, and that won't shooting under 50%, and then obviously not even hitting 50% from the free throw line. You're not going to get that, Morris. So you messed that up. So, like I say, I see now he's probably gonna have to just give them away for some for like a three mesh bags of basketballs and 3 Gatorade towels.
Sounds about right.
All right, so moving on, man. Obviously, this is a topic that we talked about before in TSA, so we'll bring it up again now that it's kind of reared its ugly head again. Zion Williamson, he's hurt again. So are there concerns in New Orleans? He's yet to play a full season, but he's making these demands that we talked about, and he wants the organization to support. So what does New Orleans do with him? Like I say, is there concern in New Orleans, and what does New Orleans do with him?
I think there has to be concern. First, let's talk about the Zion himself. I think he's played 24 games his first season, 61 games last year, I believe. So the guy has had serious health concerns. Now he's a big man, obviously, and now his lower extremities are starting to show wear and tear, which usually happens when you're a big person. So yes, I think there's just that normal concern, just physically. Okay, can this kid, can he make it through a full season? Can he get his body right to endure what he is, being an explosive athlete? Is he going to be able to do that? Now, that's one concern. And the other concern they have is when you hear a guy in his second year and the family is saying things like, oh, maybe we're not happy here. Maybe we need a bigger market. All this, that has to be concerning for New Orleans because of what happened with Anthony Davis. Now, I'm all for player empowerment, but I think the NBA has gotten to the point where it's sort of flipped and went a little bit almost too far. You want guys to have a voice. I like for guys to have a choice. I love free agency, but it could be getting a bit out of hand. And now we have a kid second year. Now, the good thing for New Orleans is what they have going in their favor is no one has demanded a trade after signing that rookie extension. So they still have a couple years with him. I'd say at least 3 more years, right? Worst case scenario, he would probably want to sign that extension, then try to demand a trade. Yeah. But would they do that with, a 4 or 5 year extension? I don't think so. So we're going to have to see how this thing plays out. But Griffith needs to get the pieces around him. But it's crazy because we're talking about a kid that hasn't done anything yet. We're talking about him like he's a LeBron James or a Kevin Durant. And it's like, well, we better hurry up and get the pieces around this guy. It's like, okay, you have it. I'm like, can you make it to the playoffs, win a playoff series, prove yourself?
Play 82 games.
Yeah, play 82 games, get to the play-in game, make it to the playoffs, maybe win a series, and then you can start smelling yourself. But nowadays, where we are in the NBA, you can do it before you get to that point, and this is where we are. I call it the LeBron James effect. So, honestly, if I was a New Orleans fan, let's say if I was a Pelican fan, which I don't think there are any, because they all send a run to the Lakers, and, they aren't going to come back to the Pelicans. They just post about the Pelicans every now and then when they're feeling guilty. My level of concern on a scale from 1 to 10, with everything being considered, would be a 7.
Okay. All right. Like I say, I could see some concern with them, and I believe that they're going to have to do something. But again, you're going back to, who's going to want him? Again, he's got durability issues. He hasn't played. I don't think he's played 82 games combined yet, or maybe he's right around there. But again, it's like I said, hey man, before you start making these demands, you need to kind of bring something to the table, and you really haven't right now. So like you said, play 82 games, go to a play-in game, and/or win a playoff series, and then we can kind of talk. So that's where I'm at with it. But I can see New Orleans having a little bit of concern just from a health perspective as well, because and maybe they need to get him a regiment that puts him on and puts some kind of clauses in his contract. I don't know if they can do that in the NBA like they do in the NFL with the workout bonuses and things like that. So that's where I would go with those guys.
All right, let's look at staying with the NBA. We have the Eastern and Western Conference. So I want you to give me your Eastern and Western Conference standings 1 through 10, meaning 1 through 8 plus your 2 teams for the play-in game. In order, Eastern and Western Conference.
All right, so we'll go ahead and start in the East. Right now, I'm gonna go Milwaukee, obviously because they're the defending champs, and everything's gonna go through Milwaukee. Brooklyn, the Sixers, Hawks, Bulls, Toronto, the Bum Knicks, and the Celtics. That's 1 through 8. Last 2 teams in there for 9 and 10 is going to be the Pacers and the Miami Heat. I went kind of back and forth between Miami and Orlando, but at the end of the day, I'm going to give old Spoelstra a little bit of credit, and your man old Jimmy Buckets down there. So those guys they'll get a little bit of love from me on that. In the West, I'm gonna go Utah. I still think they obviously got some good stuff going on. Two outs. So I'm gonna go Utah, Denver, the Lakers, Phoenix, Portland, and Dallas. That's 7, right? And then I'm gonna give Golden State 8, and then 9 and 10. I'm gonna go with San Antonio, and I'm gonna throw Minnesota a bone. Maybe those guys have finally realized how to win. See, I like that. I had to kind of throw some things in there for you. So that's where I'm at right there.
Okay, I'm only gonna ask you one question on each conference.
Okay.
So when I look at the East, you said Bucks, Nets, Sixers. Who is that 4th team?
Hawks. I'm gonna throw the
Hawks. Then we have who?
The Bulls.
The Bulls. The
Toronto.
Raptors. Now,
Raptors.
there we is right there. Toronto Raptors.
Okay.
Who I have pegged for the play-in game. What gives you faith in the Toronto Raptors, seeing how disappointing they were last year? What improvements did they make?
I think, I'll be honest, I think they didn't really do anything personnel-wise, in my opinion, that, had catapulted them. I believe that, like you said, that everybody had those guys pegged to be better than what they were last year. And I think that there's a sour taste in those guys' mouth, and they're going to come out a little hungrier this year, and they're going to try and show everybody and prove everybody that it wasn't this wasn't like a fluke a couple of years ago when we won the championship. Now, granted, they obviously had Kawhi then. They obviously don't anymore. But last year was just an anomaly, and those guys are better than what they are, and and those guys are gonna show everybody that they're about business. Now, granted, I'm not saying they're gonna make it to no conference finals or anything. I just think that they're gonna play a little bit better ball and show everybody that last year was just a fluke. And like you said, they should be embarrassed at themselves for how they ended the year last year.
Okay, kind sir, I will bet you $20 that they don't make the playoffs. Now we're going to go to the West. The Denver Nuggets.
Yes.
2nd.
Yes.
Did you remember that guy named Jamal Murray, their 2nd best player?
Yes.
You remember what happened to him in April?
Yeah, he got hurt.
Tore his ACL. So he won't be back until next April?
Probably April, yep.
So we're going with the Jamal Murray-less backcourt. We're talking about Austin Rivers.
Yep.
And the little midget Italian kid, and they're gonna finish 2nd in the Western Conference.
You know me, P. I got to go out here and I got to be a little bit different than everybody. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, I can't just go down the list. And I'll be honest, like I said, I like Denver. I think the Joker's, he's obviously, top 10, top 5 player in the league right now, reigning MVP. And I think they're going to rely on him. Now, you're right. That backcourt gives everybody concerns. Bum-ass Braves. Anyway, so obviously, man, like I say, that backcourt gives everybody concerns. But, I mean, out west, there's really – I mean, if you look at all 10 teams, 8 teams, whatever, there's not really one team out there that doesn't have a lot of concerns, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? You got Utah. They've got their issue with, Gobert and, inside, etc. Obviously, Denver. You got the Lakers. We don't know what they're going to be. They're obviously a year older. You got Phoenix. They're a year older. Everybody's going to be on the Chris Paul train again, blah, blah, blah. But then there's the thing with DeAndre Ayton going on out there. So you got that. You got the Clippers with Kawhi being out. You got Portland with you don't know which Lillard you're going to get on any given night. Is he going to be the guy that's dropping 50, or is he going to be the guy that's, shooting, taking 50 shots a game and you're not there? Dallas, with Luka, what are they going to do? You know what I'm saying? San Antonio, how did they really improve? But it's the Spurs. You got to give them the benefit of the doubt. And like I say, the only thing, Minnesota, I'm just going with Minnesota just because of my man Edwards, man. I want to see that guy. Just trade him to Atlanta. We'll take him. But like I say, maybe at some Minnesota will get their act together. But so like I say, there's no real favorite out there, in my opinion.
Okay, all I want to know is, do we have a $20 bet on the Raptors?
I'll get back to you in a couple of days.
Okay, you're up. All right.
That'd be hey, that might be a fool's bet. So, like I say, hey, come and talk to me in like March or something after.
Okay, fair enough.
So, like I say, that's where I'm at, man. Because, like I say, outside of the East, I mean, again, out West, I just don't see a team out there that's just like, you can just pencil in the finals right now like you could with Brooklyn and or the Bucks, man. Either one of them, I think you could say, yep, that's Eastern Conference Finals right there. And whoever wins that's probably going to win the finals, just because of out West right now on paper, before any games are played, with the exception of theirs, there's not a team right now that just jumps out to me.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So moving on a little bit. So we're going to bring it. We'll tie in our NBA theme for this evening, obviously with the playoffs, baseball playoffs going on. And I want to talk about a playoff format, right? So obviously we were talking about our 10 teams with the NBA play-in games. Obviously the NFL expanded the playoffs. They added, 2 more wild cards, I believe. And then last year, the MLB with their COVID format, how they had it, I think it was 10 teams where we had you had the initial play-in series, best of 3, that was played at the other guy's home. So my question is, which of those formats do you like the most? And should Major League Baseball bring that COVID style format back going forward?
The one I like the most is definitely the NBA. But to go back to baseball real quick, I didn't like the COVID format simply because it was sort of a COVID rule where you only play in one stadium. Like the White Sox played all their games on Oakland. Yep. So if you could switch that and put some travel in there, then I would like that. So I'll put them third. The NFL, whenever you get an extra game, it's the NFL. I mean, you can't go wrong, right? And this year, the NFL is doing something where the playoff games, there's going to be a wild card game, I believe, for the next 4 to 5 years. It's going to be on Monday night. So we're going to have a Monday night wild card game. The NFL stays winning because it's nothing like going to the NFL game. Because when I went to that Bears game in Vegas, I was telling my old lady, I'm like, this is what it's all about. And that was her first NFL game. She was like, what is wrong with y'all? Because I was screaming and yelling, and when Williams hit that juke move and scored on a touchdown, I got up and I was doing twirls, and Chris Angel was there before the game, escaping out a life jacket, and at halftime, Luda was performing. I mean, I'm like, this is the NFL. This is a party, right?
Yep.
But the NBA, I love that format. And what I really like about it is that the NBA, we always, at the end of the year, you get such that that thing where, because the NFL doesn't tank. The NFL is not going to tank because that's a different sport. It's too physical. You can't go out there and sort of half-butt it, right? So those guys are always going to give maximum effort. But in the NBA, that last 2 weeks sometimes can become just a real drag. So what we've created by adding those 2 extra teams is that's 4 more fan bases into it the entire time. Yep. So that's 4 more teams that's fighting and getting to the playoffs. And then once you get in, now you have these elimination games. You have these single elimination games to where it's, hey, man, you slip up, you can be the 7th seed and mess around and be at home. Yep. The 7th and 8th seed. Now, it was a good idea. Nobody complained until last year. Of course, not KD, LeBron was, who thought of this? Whoever thought of this, when they were sort of looking, in Luka, I don't understand this. I don't like it. Well, I tell you what, finish in 6.
Yep.
Plain and simple, finish in 6.
Go out and win ball.
Is there anything that the NBA can do to sort of curtail tanking at the end of the season? I'm always going to be for it when it comes to those guys.
Okay. I like that, man. Like I said, I think it was good. Obviously when the NCAA kind of instituted that for March Madness with those play-in games for those lower seeded guys. And like I say, man, you normally get some good games in those play-in games as well, man. So I'm with you, man. I kind of like that. Again, it kind of negates that tanking. Even in the NFL, man, when we think teams are tanking, they're still not, man, because nobody's going to go out there for 60 minutes and just let somebody, what I'm saying, truck them. Them boys got too much pride for that, man. So they're not gonna allow that, man. So I'm in agreement with you on that. And again, I wish baseball would bring that back because, again, as much as I hate the Dodgers, I really do. Obviously, when they played that wild card game against the Cardinals, which I wanted the Cardinals to win just because it's the Dodgers, it would have been a shame for a 106 win team to be put out after one game. You know what I'm saying? So again, it's just, it is what it is because it's the Dodgers. I wouldn't have lost any sleep. But I'm just saying is I think that they should go back to that and, like you said, either incorporate a travel into that, where it's one game in, Chicago, one game in Oakland, and or do a neutral site. But then obviously you got to worry about fans traveling and things like that. So there's a lot of logistics that goes into it. But I think with baseball, if they brought that back again, you would have a lot more meaningful races, which again, you had them this year because of that run the Cardinals went on. And then obviously with Boston and the Yankees or whatever. So I think it was good this year, but you know how it is sometimes, man, guys are just running away with it. And we thought the Padres were going to run away with the Dodgers and the Giants were just going to run away with the wild card in the division out there. And then obviously they had their issues. So yeah, like I said, I think if they bring that back, they will. But again, I'm with you. It's going to be good to get those Monday night wild card games. That's going to be something new and interesting and bringing in that revenue for those guys. But again, I like those play-in games as well in the NBA.
Right. Here we go. We're going to do something a little bit different. We're doing over and under because I'm really into this whole betting thing right now. And I'm watching right now because I think I'm on the verge of winning like $110. So I'm excited. I'm not like Dave Dagnese. I'm not like Dags. I'm not winning, 1 and 2K. So,
but
baby steps.
He posted that and sharing it. So, man, Dave is really losing. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. So here we go. So I'm just going to give you the team and the over-under, and you tell me over or under.
Okay.
All right? Let's see here. Let me do this real quick. Let me see something. All right. Here we go. Over under Orlando Magic, 22 wins.
Over.
Oklahoma City Thunder, 23.
Under.
Detroit Pistons, 24.
Fuck. Oh, man. Detroit is interesting. Over. Dang.
Cleveland Cavs, 26.
Under.
Houston Rockets, 27.
Under.
San Antonio Spurs, 28.
Over.
Yeah, you better since you picked them for the play-in game. Washington Wizards, 33.
Wizards, 33. I wouldn't bet that, but I'll take the over. I wouldn't play him.
They better or Bradley Beal's the man in the trade. Toronto Raptors 35.
Over.
Minnesota 35.
Over.
Vegas is telling you about yourself right now. Sacramento Kings 36.
Under.
Charlotte Hornets 38.
Man, well, how they played the other night, that under should be 12. Under.
They're going to be a very disappointing team. They're going to let a lot of people down. New Orleans Pelicans 39.
No Zion Williams. Under.
New York Knicks 41.
They'll win a game they ain't got no business winning. Over.
Memphis Grizzlies 41.
I like Ja. Under.
Chicago Bulls 41.
Over.
Indiana Pacers 42.
Under.
Portland Trail Blazers 45.
Push. I think they'll win 45.
LA Clippers 46.
Over.
Boston Celtics 46.
Over.
Atlanta Hawks 48.
We'll be under.
Denver Nuggets 48.
Over. They're going to win 60.
Miami Heat 48.
Absolutely not. Under. Under.
Golden State Warriors 49.
I'm going to go over just because Chef can get hot.
The Mavericks 49.
Over.
Philadelphia 76ers 51.
That's about right, yeah. Over. God damn it.
Phoenix Suns 51.
Phoenix 51, so I put them at 51, and they'll be over.
LA Lakers 53.
Yeah, over.
Utah Jazz 53.
They'll go. I'll go over with Utah.
Milwaukee Bucks 55.
Over.
And the Brooklyn Nets 57.
Under.
Okay. We'll look back at this at the middle of the season.
You're going to go back and replay this and put down all my things, or you've already knocked it, didn't you?
Yeah, I'm going to write them down. I tell you what, like I said, this is the first time I really got into this gambling thing. You know, of course, I know what over-under is, and, you know, you always hear it. But when you can't gamble, it always seems easy. Yeah. You know, people say, you're like, oh, that's over and under. But when you can actually bet on these things, all of a sudden, that's not too easy. Even the bum teams. I'm like, Orlando, 22. I'm like, they can win 22 games. And I'm like, maybe they can't.
The sad part is with it is, like, normally when you do, like, wins like that, especially in college, they usually put, like, a decimal with it. So you got to pick over or under, right?
Right. That's what I was doing. I was adding a decimal and giving the points because a lot of it was a 0.5 to all of them.
I got you. Yeah. So like I say, so that way, because obviously there's some teams there that I'm like, nah, man, you guys will be right there. You guys will be right there at that number. That's about the number that you want to be at. So so we'll see how that shakes out. All right. So my last one for you, P, is obviously NCAA men's rankings came out the other day. Obviously it's preseason, but my question is, are we good with how they are? Let's say this: are you good with the top 5? And who will be your surprise team to watch this year?
I'm good with the top 5. It's preseason. It's okay. So you can put Gonzaga there and everything. And I thought about this. I looked at the rankings, and I'm looking at all these teams, and I'm thinking, okay, they lost this kid transferred, yada, yada, yada. But then I think, I look no further than my Illinois Fighting Illini, who are ranked number 11. Now, last year, we were number 1 seed and happened to get upset in the second round. You know, Sister Jean can go to you know where, with that. You know, but that was a learning experience for the program. But this year, I think we're going to be a better team.
Okay.
We have a big man named Kofi Cockburn, All-American. I don't know how he's going to fare in the NBA, but he's a monster in college. We have a point guard, Andre Curbelo. Get to know that name. I think he's the best point guard in the nation. They said there's already scouts in there watching us. Old school pick and roll, downhill point guard. Very, very good. Trent Frazier comes back. We got a transfer kid from Utah, Alfonso Plummer. They can real good shooter. We got a transfer from Florida, Omar Payne, to come off the bench. Chandler Hutchison was a kid that was out all last year with the bad back. The whole key is going to be our power forward position in college. The kid Granderson, really not a fan. We have a young kid named Coleman Hawkins, call him the Hawk. Hopefully he can take that spot. So when it comes to surprise team, I think it could be us because I think we can finish in the top 5. You look in the top 10, you see a lot of Big Ten teams in there. You see Purdue, you see Michigan. You know, you see these, and Purdue has a lot of young players, so I'm not seeing that jump from them. I believe Indiana's ranked sort of high. You know, Sparty is always there, so the Big Ten should be a gauntlet. But as far as the rankings, I'm okay with it. We'll see how everything shakes out.
We'll see how after the Maui.
It's like I like being disrespected. It's cool. You know, our players the other night was like, "Hey, coach, man, when we went to the tournament, people were saying, yeah, we won a championship, but you know, it was sort of like an NIT because this team." I'm like, well, do these teams have any championships? I don't worry about that, right? So it's all good. I like being an underdog, so that's where I am with that.
Okay. That's good. Like I say, I'm ready for college basketball. See, that's where I normally place all my wagers at. You know what I'm saying? So I'll be watching those closely, man. And I'm with you. I'm good with the preseason rankings or whatever it is, because obviously I think they do that just to kind of give us those early season matchups at the Maui Invitational and the, you know, whatever, the EA Sports whatever, or the, you know, let's go to Ramstein for the Armed Forces Classic and go get on an aircraft carrier or whatever, and they give us those kind of matchups. So I think that's one of the main reasons they do that, just for us fans, and give, you know, Jay Billis and those guys, Jay Williams, something to talk about on ESPN. So I'm good. And I think that a team, I'm not even going to say Georgia in basketball, because we obviously we're not where we need to be as a program. Tom Crean has not recruited the way I think he needs to, especially in that state. He hasn't realized or understood how to use AAU to his advantage down there. And I think that's costing us. So until we can find a guy that can recruit big-time players, we're always going to struggle with that. So one of my surprise teams, I like what you said about Illinois. But I think a team that I like that's going to shock a lot of people, and they're not even ranked, but they're going to probably come up in there is a team like Marquette. You know what I'm saying? They're always well coached, and they always just kind of, you know, come up with you, come at you every other year, and they're just, you know,
that's what Shaka Smart is now. Shaka Smart's at Marquette now.
Well, obviously he wasn't working out in Texas, so let's see if he can get his name back good at a small school, so or a smaller school, I should say. So
all right.
With that.
Now, to wrap things up, NBA prediction time.
Okay.
Real quick, down and dirty.
I had to write these down.
Okay. Give me your most improved player.
My most improved player, so I went back. I was gonna say Zion, but obviously he's hurt, man. So I had to go. I was doing some reading on that, and I'm gonna go with your man out of Chicago, Zach. I'm gonna go with your man Laverne, however you say his name. Okay. I think obviously because he got hurt last year, if I'm not mistaken, missed a couple of games. I know I've been real critical on Lonzo Ball, but I think he's gonna be a good addition to the team, and he's gonna help Zach out a lot, man. So that's who I'm gonna go with as my most improved player.
My most improved player is going to be the guy you just mentioned, Lonzo Ball. Rookie of the year, who you got?
Rookie of the year, I think the easy choice would be Cade, but I'm gonna go with Green. I'm gonna go with Green out there, and
let me tell you something. That kid.
I was gonna go with your man Mitchell, but he's a Jag already, so I couldn't have went with him.
I like where your head is at, because I'm going with Green for one reason and one reason only. This kid shoots, and shoots again. I watched him a couple times in preseason. Now, I get it. He's a bucket, right? But sometimes the problem with when you hear people talk about and answer, bad habits with young teams, that's what I can see happening in Houston. Because those guys are to the point now where it's almost like we're not going to be good, but we're just going to shoot. Because between him and the Porter kid, whenever they get the ball, it's gone. Every shot isn't a good shot. But he's young. This is going to be his rookie year. But the kid's potential is out the roof. It really is. So I agree with you with Green. The next step for Houston, this next draft or free agency, is to get a point guard in there to sort of calm that thing down. But I agree with you on Greens. So who do you have for regular season MVP?
So my top three, and this is in order, and this is how I think it's going to end out. I'm gonna give it to Luka.
Okay.
And Greek behind him.
Okay. Luka.
I think obviously, man, we as like we talked about, Dallas ain't gonna be in my prediction, Dallas ain't gonna be number one out west, but obviously Luka that dude just produces, man. He just he's on not a great team, but not a horrible team either. So he's gonna get his numbers, and obviously, man, he's already quote unquote a superstar, and they love him, man. So I think that's gonna push him unless he obviously gets injured, misses a lot of games. I'm gonna go with Luka.
I had Luka last year. He disappointed me. I see Bobby White has joined in most improved player Porter. He better for what he damn getting paid. Mr. Corner 3. I don't know. I still feel like he's just a corner 3 guy. I ain't got nothing against him, but but we can see he could be. He could step into that number 2 role, maybe average 25, 26 points a game. So that's not a crazy pick at all. I just don't see it in him, but solid pick. So you got Luka, you have Greek. I'm going to go with the Greek, honestly.
Okay.
I'm going to go with the Greek. I'm going to go with KD. And then I'm going to throw a wild card in there like Paul George. Just pulling something out the air.
But this is one of those things where we finna really see what old pandemic P is about, man. Because obviously now he ain't got Kawhi there, to kind of share the load with. So hey, man, we finna really see if you're a superstar. This is the year that you get to show that you are a superstar and you warrant the $400 million you're getting or whatever the ridiculous number is. But this is going to be the year that you need to show the world that you are a superstar.
But I think we all know that Paul George has been miscast and he's not a superstar. He's not. He can't be the best player on a championship team. The only difference what separates him from a guy like Jimmy Butler is playoff performances, attitude, and how people perceive him. Because quite honestly, Jimmy Butler isn't that dude either, but everybody acts like he is. The difference is we know that Paul George isn't. So, NBA Finals matchup. What you got?
So, Finals matchup, like I said, it's either going to be Brooklyn or the Bucks. Like I said, I'll flip it up.
Okay.
And I'm going to go with I think they finally get to a finals. I'm going to go with the Jazz, man. Like I say, they haven't been to one since 2008. Again, I think they're kind of pissed off from last year with how everything ended. Obviously, we saw that I think Mitchell was hurt. Conley was hurt a little bit. Obviously, they're going to need more from Rudy, and whether it's tip backs, defense, whatever, to get there. But at the end of the day, whoever gets there, they're going to lose to either KD and or the Bucks, and either KD or Greek's going to be Finals MVP.
I'm going to go chalk, and I'm just going to say Nets Lakers. I can't think of any other way to be cute,
I got you.
Bobby White says Steph for MVP if he can get Golden State to top 4 or 5. Yes, but he won't.
Yeah. Now I would say to your point is with the Lakers, I wouldn't be shocked if they made it. You know what I'm saying? Again, you got LeBron he's on a decline, whether his fan base and his disciples want to admit it or not. He's on a decline. For a dynamic player in Westbrook, but obviously He's got to have the ball in his hands a lot, just
Right.
like Braun got to have the ball in your hands a lot. You got AD, who's, you know, him and Zion, man, they're just on the, you know, them guys are in the injury room more times than not. Obviously, you got some, you know, they went and got those bigs back again with Dwight Howard and what's his name? Can't think of it right
Jordan,
now.
DeAndre Jordan.
Yes. So, again, I'm not a fan of DeAndre Jordan, but, again, he's another big that can go in there and rebound, just like when they had JaVale McGee a couple of years ago. So, again, I would not be shocked if they went there. But at the end of the day, if they play the Bucks or the Nets, it's just going to be too much for them to kind of overcome. And to be honest with you, I would not be upset if KD and the Nets won a championship. I'm still not sold on Steve Nash coaching. So, obviously, but again, I'm not really sold on Bud either, even though they won the championship last year.
Right.
So, kind of a toss-up with that. You and I could probably do the same, you know, a better job of coaching with them, you know what I'm saying, than those guys, man. So, it is what it is. But, again, I wouldn't be shocked if the Lakers did make the finals. And if they do, you know how it is. We're gonna have to hear that Laker fan base for you know, just too long, man. So I'm hoping they go ahead and just get put out of misery earlier.
My face says it all. Well, all right, my man. Good show. Enjoy your time up there in Chocolate City. How much longer you gonna be up there?
Oh man, I'll be up here till so I leave out Friday afternoon, morning, or whatever, man. So it's pretty, you know, it's pretty nice out here, man. Been going out having a couple of drinks or whatever. So it's nice, man. And just so you tracking, I figured out a way the other day so I can download these videos, man. So like I said, I've been uploading them to the YouTube channel. Hey, I've been all the guys here, man. They're like, hey man, you going to do this podcast? I'm like, yeah, man. Hey, me and one of my partners, man, we doing it, man. It's like a PTI type theme. That, hey man, send us the link, watch it. So like I say, man, I got that figured out, man. I'll put the link in TSA once I get back and get on my computer or whatever, man. But like I say, man, get that bell, dog, so we can actually get down.
We gonna get the timing down. We'll have the timing down next week. I'll find us a bell one way or the other.
Absolutely. All right, brother. Be easy, man.
Okay, bro. Peace.
All right. Later.